Hello, fabulous Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2014, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, Mercury will spend most of the month retrograde in your sign. I want you to think back to what was taking place around the 15th of September, because that is where, and that is when, Mercury will return to the exact same spot where he was at that time on the 24th of this month. So, whatever it was that came up right around the middle of last month will be returned to this month. And in fact, once we get you into the late part of this month, it's almost as if I'm seeing you have a moment of clarity where you say, oh, okay, this is the reality. This is what is actually going on. This is what I actually want. This is what I thought I wanted, what I was thinking about. But actually, this is what life is showing me, who I am and where it is I'm meant to go next. These are the big revelations that happen when we have Mercury station direct. So station appears to stand still in the sky and then begins to go direct in your sign. These are the types of revelations that come about. Now, you add to this the element that you've got this very powerful Mercury retrograde happening in your sign, and at the same time, like literally right at the same time that Mercury is appearing to stand still in the sky, we have got an eclipse taking place in the sign immediately after yours, in the sign of Scorpio. So Venus leaves your sign and meets the eclipse at the same time the eclipse occurs, right around the same time the eclipse occurs, while Mercury in your sign is standing still in the sky and then begins to go direct. And so you put these together, and to me, that is some very strong symbolism taking place. Venus is your ruling planet. So wherever Venus goes in the sky, she is your representation. What's happening with her is going to speak a lot more strongly to you than it might to other signs. The fact that Venus would be joining an eclipse. Now, eclipses are very special. They're a very special time, and especially the time between eclipses, which is really smack dab, the 2 weeks right in the middle of the month. It tends to be an important time. Some have said it's like a portal. We enter a place where we're able to see through veils. It's really revered among some mystical traditions, that period between two eclipses, the 2 weeks between two eclipses. What I think of eclipses, when I think of eclipses, I think of them as a symbol of seeing something as if for the first time, but really it's not for the first time. It's like what you've always known, or what you've known for a long time, what you felt to be true, and now it's undeniable. It's in front of your face. It's obvious. This is the truth. This is what you haven't wanted to look at. This is what's obvious, that's been there all along, right in front of your face, but you haven't wanted to acknowledge it. Usually with eclipses, what I found is they are a long time coming. And so if you are the kind of person who checks in with yourself a lot, you strive to live with greater consciousness, with greater awareness, and you approach your sky with that measure, then eclipses can be a really great time, because they can be a time where you take a leap forward in progress in the very area of life that has been asking for your attention. However, if you are not that type of person, or not always, right? Because we're human, we're not always completely aware. As spiritual as people are out there, we're still human beings, and we're learning as we go, and we're guided by emotion a lot of the time. Sometimes we think more than we should be, but it's a reality. A part of being a human being is having these emotions, being guided by them at times, allowing your hopes to color what it is that you see. If you have gone really far off track with where the universe needs you to be, and seen too much colored by your hopes instead of the reality, then eclipses can be a time that bring you back very dramatically. They can really, really happen in a way that it's like the truth becomes undeniable, even shocking. I'll talk more about that element in the love-focused horoscope, because it is an important month for you in love, but that's really in the early part of the month. Once we get you to the later part of the month, and we've got Mercury stationing, standing still, going direct, your ruling planet with the solar eclipse. Now, solar eclipses are fresh starts, new beginnings. And this is financial, really. It's about money. It's happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with self-worth, believing that you deserve to receive. And it also has to do with just what you do in order to provide for yourself and those that you are responsible for. So this becomes an area of importance. And the thing is that the eclipse is taking place at the very beginning of the sign right after yours, the very beginning of the sign. I put all this together and it suggests to me that you are about to get some very important clarity into who you are and what it is that you really want to do, especially where it comes to your finances and especially where it comes to your money. Since late 2012, you have had Saturn in the same part of the sky that the eclipse is going to take place in. And so you've been going through the slow lesson of taking responsibility for your money, aligning yourself slowly but surely on a pathway towards earning your money in a way that resonates as what it is that you're supposed to be doing to earn your money. And some Libras out there have been just working very diligently, okay? Now, if you are one of those people who really has been taking that pathway of aligning yourself with what you're supposed to do, then this can be a time of new ideas, new progress, certainly, possibly even advancement. If you are one of those Libras who've been like sort of scared to really make changes, doing what it is that you think you should be doing, going for what you think you should be going for, that is where I think you're going to get more of a wake-up call, if you will, where it's going to become undeniable to you where your financial success likely is going to be and where it is not really, thankfully so, because perhaps you've pursued something, in some cases, perhaps for a really long time, but that's not where it is that your unique form of abundance is going to come from. Or that's not where it is that you need to be devoting your energy anymore because there's actually a more prosperous path laid out for you. I would invite you to consider all of these possibilities because there is going to be a change in finances, but it does look like it is a very beginning. It's barely a first step. It's an idea. It's a possibility. And it does look like a part of you might not actually know what to do with the inspiration. Keep it about you. Keep it about what it is that you truly want to do next. If you are in a job that you know doesn't work for you, that you know you haven't wanted to be in for a long time, chances are this is going to be the month when that changes. If you are in a job where you like it, but it doesn't really feel like it is representative of who you really are and what it is that you're really meant to do, there will be changes as well. But if you are in an area where you've been doing something, you love it, this can be a time when you truly start to understand. You begin a process of understanding how to make it more profitable, and truly abundant as well. There's another sort of metaphysical way that this energy can manifest, and that has to do with thinking about self-worth, thinking about the energy you are giving to the world and how that's being reflected in what is coming back to you. Now, I've often said I do like to share one spiritual perception of money is, and there are a lot of ways to look at money, but especially if you look at it from a spiritual perception, one way to understand money is that it is a reflection of the value that you give to the energy you give. So if you put high value on the energy you give, chances are the universe returns that to you in terms of greater abundance, because ultimately it's all a circle. It's all just energy. It's all just cycling. And so if you place high value on what you give, high value comes back. This is a part of your sort of personal wake-up call into what do you think is the value of what you give? What do you think is the value of who you are and what you represent, and how that speaks to what you're giving to the world, or how it is not, and how you can, whether you want to call it value yourself more, whether you want to call it raise your game, whether you want to call it think of more ways to share something more unique that is going to be in alignment with something that brings in greater prosperity. All of that comes up now. And it resonates very deeply with your heart. And I'm very much of the belief that when you align who it is that you really are and give from an authentic and honest place from your heart, abundance is the natural outcome.